What's up, nerds? So I watched The Acolyte episode 3 last night, and I just want to say that this show, I have not been impressed with this show so far. I think that, I mean, this is the thing. I think that when it comes to like the sets that they're on and stuff, it's not that stuff's not bad. Like the set for this one, I liked this little temple, whatever it was, of these weird space witches and everything. But like I liked this set and everything. But other than that, so like this one, you've got these big explosions, and you've got fire and everything, and you've got like a bunch of people dying, and but after all of this, the episode is still really freaking boring. Like I'm just like in the middle of it, I was literally like, I don't care. I'm all like, what's going on here? Like I was like snooze fest galore. And I know a lot of people are like, this is the episode that is going to finally break Star Wars. And to that I go, I don't feel like it broke Star Wars, because they do change some things about the Force that I personally don't like, but that's what Kathleen Kennedy has done these days. I mean, she's allowed people to ruin everything. She's all like, hey, George, we're going to treat your creation, what did she say, with care and dignity and respect. And then this is what we've gotten, just this big pile of nonsense, Yeah, I mean, Disney, we have to be honest, Disney Star Wars has not put out anything I do think that Rogue One was really good. I did enjoy Rogue One. And then I did, Andor was also boring to me, but Andor was like half and half. Like half of it was boring, and then half of it was like really, really good. The writing on that was superb. I'll say that right now. Anyways, we're not talking about Andor. We're talking about the Acolyte. Now, I also want to say real quick, Jodie Turner-Smith in this episode, this was the episode that she was in. I feel like she's coming back, but she is a good actress. I thought maybe she'd be not so great in this role as Mother Keffy, or whatever the hell her name is. I don't remember. I have it here in my notes, but give me 2 seconds and I'll find it. But I thought she would be really bad as Mother Anase. Anyways, because if you see her in interviews for this show, she is quite obnoxious and annoying. I find her as a person quite annoying, almost as a Brie Larson type. So no wonder Joshua Jackson divorced her. Anyways, okay. I'm going to go into breaking this sucker down and everything. I'm going to try not to take too much of your time, because we've got stuff to do. And if you've seen it, you've already seen it. And if you haven't seen it, then you're just like, hey, whatever. All right, let's pull this up and I'm going to break it down. Okay, so this episode was the flashback episode, which we got to see Carrie-Anne Moss again, but she barely did anything in this. She just sat there and looking all stoic and stuff like Trinity does. And it starts off on Brendock, when the girls are younger, right? And Brendock's all right. Like I said before, I like the set for this one. I think their little witch temple is kind of, fine or whatnot. So we get it. And then we get this tree right here. The tree is pretty also, I mean, like if this is a real tree in real nature, then that's cool. But if it is, I don't know where this stuff is. Okay. So, all right. Sorry. So then we get Osha, and she's sitting here playing with this like weird butterfly thing. She's trying to do her Force thing, and her sister comes along and she does the Force thing for him. And she's obviously better. And she's like, Osha, why don't you come play with me and everything? Now, I just want to say real quick, these two girls who are playing the twins are not twins. And if they are twins, they're not identical twins. And I think that this was better to do it this way. I do think that they should have waited for this episode too. I was just on a stream last night and we talked about how they revealed that they were twins way too early. They should have revealed it in this episode with the reveal of these two kids, because I don't think that Mala Stenberg does a good job playing twins. I don't think that she does a good job of differentiating the Mae and Osha. All right, so she's all like, why do you always run from me? And she's all like, I don't want to go through the ascension. I'm a little whiny bitch. And she's like, but you're going to love it and everything. She's like, and you're not supposed to be out here on your own. So while she's doing this, so they I don't know, they do their twin thing. Oh, they do this poem. It's like, something, the galaxy of one, the galaxy of two, the galaxy of all of us, or some crap like that. It's very Rey Skywalker, very like, I am all the Jedi. And you're like, oh, get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Okay. So then Mother Korra, who is very much a crazy bitch. She is all like, look, she's looking crazy, and she's very much a Darth Maul, whatever their people are called. I can't remember off the top of my head. And she's all like, why did you leave the encampment? You're not supposed to leave the walls. You're in trouble. And so she's like, come on. And then the Jedi are sneaking around like little weirdos. Like, why are you doing this, dude? Just like you got lightsabers and stuff. So there's Saul. And they do a good job. I said do. They do a good job of de-aging these people that are old. So here's their little like temple thing, which I don't think it's that bad. I was like, you know what, this is kind of a cool little place to be hanging out in. So they go in here. It's all women, lesbians, and she's like, "Can we have it? Can we have spice cakes or spice creams or whatever?" And I'm all like, "What? This is weird." And Mama Korra is all like, "No, spice creams are for little girls who listen and everything, who don't disobey." And then out comes Mama Ashanti. Sorry, her name is Mother Asenia. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna call her Mother Ashanti or Ashanti, whatever. Anyways, she's like, my daughters deserve spice creams or something like that. So they get them, and then she's like, so these women are their mothers. The one with the horns, she's the one that gave birth to them. And we find out later that Mother Ashanti, or Ashanti, whatever her name is, Asenia, she's the one that made them. And I'm all like, you've got to be kidding me right now. I'm like, all right, whatever, weird space witches. I don't care, whatever. And so she's like, the ones with horns is like, you're too easy on them. And I'm like, yeah, she is. She's letting them have candy after they broke the rules. What kind of parenting is this? My kids would have broke the rules. I'd have been like, oh, what? Get out of here, breaking the. I don't hit my kids. I'm playing. Don't call CPS, but if you do, I just want you to know I'm not letting them in my house, and don't let them into your house because you don't have to. They need a warrant for that. Anyways, okay. She's like, you need to be tougher on them. And she's right. Like, there is a balance between that. And I think that Mother Asenia is being way too lenient with them. So then they have their lessons, right? So she's using the Force, obviously. Now, while she's using the Force, one thing that she says in here that I didn't like is, and I can't remember if it's this part or later on, but I'm just going to say it's here, is she says that the galaxy is not kind to women like us. And I just want to be like, you got to be fucking kidding me with this messaging. I mean, like, I get it, but are you trying to say that the universe is not kind to lesbians? Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, that's so stupid. Also, these two girl actors, they don't do a good job, in my opinion, in this episode. Like, they do a mediocre job to bad job. Like this scene, bad job. Because they start fighting, and it's not natural fighting. So she's trying to get these two to pay attention to the Force and everything. And she's talking about how the Force is a string, right? Hold on, let me show you, because she is a string. It's a thread. And it combines, you know, you're connected to two people. And she's like, one, and then she beats back this woman. And then she's like, but two, and she's stronger, obviously, but she's able to push these two ladies back, right? So then she turns around, and these two are, of course, fighting. And she's like, your enemies will not tell you when they are going to attack. Magic ball. And then boom. Yeah, so they fall down. Not a good job of doing that. And so she tries to do it again, right? But Mae is holding her back, and Asha's hiding behind Mae. And I'm pretty sure that Mae will end up being like turned around in terms of her I'm a bad guy status, but it's not working with me. All right, we're going to rush this along because I'm taking too long. They hear something and they get the sense. This is their little generator. Very cool, very Star Wars, I think. But they hear something and they go in here. This is where she says that the universe is not kind to people like us. She's talking to these two, and she's all like, Osha tells her how she doesn't want to be, I don't want to go through the ascension. I'm a little bitch. And I'm like, just go through your ascension. I'm like, you're going to get your little weird forehead tattoo and your little dark witch powers. Because she doesn't want to be a witch. She wants to be a Jedi. She's like, Jedi? And and she's all like, she's like, you don't know what you want. You're a kid. And I'm like, that's so true. Children are, I have two kids. Children are stupid. I mean, they're my kids. I don't think they're stupid, like for an 8 and a 6-year-old, but as like with their decisions, they're just stupid. Like they just don't make right decisions. Right. So they're doing this weird chant right here by this well. I'm like, when they do their stuff, I'm just like, you guys could explain something. I don't know, but whatever. So then they're going through here. And one thing they do say in here, and she's like, why? She says something about like, why do you want to? She's like, we're the only kids here. And these two ladies give a look or whatever. She's like, why don't you want to go through the Ascension? The Ascension is so cool. And she's like, I kind of want to be a Jedi, you know? So then they're doing their weird witchness. This part right here, I was laughing so hard at this. This is like interpretive dance, but like, you know, when you get people that don't know how to dance and they're like, somebody shows them and they all just do the same thing, but they're just like not doing it at the same time. And then Mother Ashanti comes out. She's like, look at me. I'm a very powerful woman. I'm a very powerful woman. I'm like, yeah, we get it. She's like the thread and everything. And so she's like, bring out the victims, bring out the girls so we can ascend them. And a small piece of me thought they were going to throw them in that little pit. And I was like, do it. But they can't, because then how would that all work in the end? Because then Mae and Osha are still alive later on. Okay. So then they're pulling in, like, they're doing their weird poem thing. They're like, all is one, all is two, all is everybody, or some crap like that. I can't remember what it is. And she gets the little, and there's an eclipse of the two moons, the red and the blue moon going on. And so she's all like, she says, Mae, are you ready to, when I die, are you ready to protect all the secrets of our witchcraft? And she's like, yeah. And so she gets her crazy tattoo. Then she goes to Osha and she's like, when I die, are you ready to, protect all our stuff, or all our secrets? And she's like, yeah, I think, maybe, sure. Look at that face. Like, look at that stupid face. I don't think the little girls are cute and everything, but they're just like, some of their acting is like I'm like, oh no, they did a good job in that scene. And then some of them I'm just like, not so much. So then they're like, the Jedi are coming. So then she tells the two kids to stay put and stay hidden. And of course, Osha, being the little idiot that she is, doesn't listen. So then the Jedi show up and we get these four, right? Because they're having this conversation, right? And they're like, we thought this planet was uninhabited. And it's like, no, you didn't. And they're like, okay, we didn't, but we're not here to steal your children, but we are. And then they're like, oh, but we need your permission. And they're like, no, you don't, and everything. And it's like, wait, what? What's going on here? Like everything, they said Ashanti was all like, no, I don't think so. It's just, it's just so stupid, this conversation, but I'm like, whatever. So these little girls, they come out, and he's all like, and he's totally doing his brooming thing where he's all like, would you like to be a Jedi? She's like, yes, I want to be a Jedi. And she's all like, we have to do the tests. Yeah, so his eyes go black. Now, this is crucial to what the secret is. Now, I'm going to tell you what my theory is on everything, okay, going to this point. Because I have theories on two things. What the Jedi did, and I have a theory on who the master is, right? Okay, so he gets these little black eyes, and she ends up letting him go, right? And she's all like, if you want your Padawan back, you're going to leave. And she's all like, let him go. And so they let him go and everything. And then they're sitting here talking about how, like, should we let them take the test? And they're all like, I'm going to let them take the test. And she's like, I'm not asking you guys, I'm telling you. And then this weird little crazy alien witch, she pops up out of nowhere, this little dog alien lady. And she's all like, the test is pass or fail. So tell them to fail. So that's what they do. She's like, you must fail. You got to lie and fail. So she takes him to see them or whatnot. And Mae goes in first. She's talking to the Wookiee, which who cares? Because you can't understand. He's like, and everything. And then he goes in, he takes some metachlorian counts. And she's like, will I get one? He's like, after much training. And yeah. So then they sit here and she's all like, he's like, what do you see? And she's like, a ship. And they did this test with Anakin. And then he's like, correct. And he's like, what do you see now? And she's like, a mountain. And he's like, correct. And she's like, but it wasn't a mountain. And he's like, are you lying? And she's like, do you want to be a Jedi? And she's like, I want to be Jedi. I want to be Jedi. If you get that reference, you're awesome. If you don't, well, we all can't be cool. Anyways, so she passes the test. And May's all like, you lied to me. You said you would fail. You promised you'd stay with me. And I'm all like, yeah, well, listen, that's the thing about twins. Like like I said, I have a twin brother. We're alike, but we're so different. Like she tells them and she's like, but I want to go. I want to be a Jedi. And she's like, will I ever see you again? She's like, no, you won't. And she hugs her, and I can't remember what she says here. Now, I just want to say, again, that Jodie Turner-Smith does a good job here. She does an excellent job acting-wise. Just the single tear rolling down her face was very good, and I thought she did a good job. It's just when she's in real life, I'm all like, you're kind of annoying, lady. So then she's like, I have to discuss this with the others. So she's packing, right? She's getting ready to go. And and she's got this diary, right? Which is in a triangle. And I'm like, ugh, whatever. I guess they're saving on paper, I guess. They're cutting corners in every way, shape, and form. And she's all like, what are you? She's like, I'm not gonna let you go. I could kill you. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then she locks her in her room, and then she gets this fire, right? And she starts the fire that sets it all off, right? And while you hear explosions and everything, and Osha gets into this little cubby hole, which I'm like, what is this cubby hole? But I'm like, it's fine. So like right here, okay, so right here you hear women like like ah, and then you see this crumble or whatnot, and then they get into the generator area, and Mae and Osha are like standing on both sides of this little thing, and she's like, "What did you do?" And that's exactly how Bob Iger and Disney should be talking, like Kathleen Kennedy. Bob Iger should be like, "What did you do?" And she'd be like, and Kathleen Kennedy be like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you both did it, you fuckers." So then she falls. They both fall, and Asha gets saved by Saul, and he's taking her through all of this. And we see all these bodies, right? Now, I just want to show you something real quick, because if you notice, none of these bodies are burned. And I mean, you see a little bit of rubble right here, but not enough for me to go, they were crushed, because I don't think they were killed by rubble or fire. And then they pass Mama Nalase's body right here. And I didn't see a face. Did you see her face? No. They could have showed her face, but they didn't. So I don't think she's dead. And they get out, and then she's on the ship, and then she's like, "Where's my family?" He's like, "I have to tell you something. Your whole family is dead." And she's all like, "Oh," and he's like, "I promise you will never feel like this again." I'm like, that's a pretty big promise, fucker. You'll never feel like this again. And then she left the Jedi Order, and I'm all like, maybe she feels like this again. I don't know. Back to the pretty tree, and there's Mae, and she's like, "Asha," and this is where it ends, because she thinks Asha is dead. And that's the end of the episode. Now, I want to talk about two of my, like I said before, okay? So in this entire episode, again, we've got, big explosions. We've got fire. We've got dozens of people dead and everything. And it was so boring. And it broke lore. It's very much, they did whatever they wanted to do. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of all the changing of the lore. And I just think that if you're going to ruin canon, you could at least make it interesting. And I didn't think this was interesting at all. It was boring as shit. And, and we didn't even get any cool fight sequences like we did in the last two episodes. That's a problem too. So I'm going to go through my theories now, and you tell me what you think. So theory number one is what the Jedi did, okay? And I'm throwing up some video here of what I think happened. I think Mother Asenya, or the witches in general, like all the witches, they possess the Wookiee. And we see that in some of the promos and some of the trailers, okay? I think he gets the dark black eyes, and then they possess him, and then he attacks. And the other Jedi have no choice but to attack back, but they have to kill the witches, the witch sisters or whatever. They have to kill them because they're going to be possessing the rest of them if they don't. So they kill them all. They kill all the witches. They lightsaber them down. But I don't think that Mother Asenya is dead. I don't think she's dead. Because I think one of two things is going to happen. I think that the Zipper Face, they're calling, which I didn't know his name was Zipper Face. I think that that was theory number one. Theory number two is that who is the Sith master person. And I think Zipper Face in the helmet, I think that that's the Asian Ezra Miller guy. I think that that's him. Because I think he's the Sith Lord or the Sith apprentice. Because I think the Sith Master is Mother Asenya. And I think what's going to happen is, and Mother Asenya could be in the helmet, but I don't think she is. I think we're going to have a Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker moment where where she goes, my mother is dead, and out pops Asenya and be like, no, I am your mother. I am your mother. Instead of being so like, it's just going to be half-assed like everything else in this show. Instead of being cool, like, no, Luke, I am your father. And I just don't. That's my theory. Like, it's going to be Asenya as the master, the Sith Lord, and then the Sith apprentice is going to be that Asian Ezra Miller guy, and then Mae is the acolyte. The waiting in the wings one, kind of like the how the there's only 2 Sith, but then they have all these Inquisitors, which I'm like, these are Sith, okay? I'm sorry. Like, you can try to convince me that they're not, but they are. So, but yeah, that's I've taken too much of your time, so I'm going to wrap this up. But it was just a boring episode, and I don't have hope that the rest of the show won't be boring as well. I just, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to hate on Star Wars. I don't want to, but I can't like what I don't like, and I don't like this. It's and I'm jealous of people that can go into this stuff without having the mindset of, because I didn't go into it hating it. It looked cheap from the trailers, so I was like, I don't know. It looks like the fighting looks cool, but it looks cheap. But in terms of going into this, I was like, let's see what Leslie Headland does, because she might write a cool story. But I do think, and I said this on the stream last night, which I'll leave a link to down below. They really misinterpreted what this show was about. I thought it was going to be Jedi are dying. Who's the murderer? But we already know who the murderer is. And the main thing is why, what did these Jedi do? And like I said before, I think I know what they did, and it's not like hard to figure out. And I just don't care, All right, you guys, those are my thoughts and everything, but tell me what you guys thought about this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? Who's your favorite character? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're on my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next Acolyte breakdown and review. You guys have a good week. May the Force be with you. Bye.